Hello guys, Charles here and welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk about the interval of a perfect fourth. So a perfect fourth is a great way to get those modern contemporary sounds in your playing, and it's hugely effective, especially in minor contexts. And today I want to give you 3 reasons why I think of the interval of the perfect fourth as being a minor interval. Now, because this is the internet, I do need to make a few disclaimers. I'd like to clarify I am not saying that the perfect fourth is a minor interval. I'm saying that I think of the perfect fourth as being a minor interval, which is a very different thing entirely. Secondly, as with anything you see on the internet, take my thoughts with a pinch of salt. Just because I can prove or disprove something using music theory doesn't mean it's true. Facts and figures can be bent anyway. Theories can be used to prove any particular outcome if you use them in the right way. So listen to what I've got to say today, and if you agree with it, then try these ideas out for yourself, and if you don't, then that's absolutely fine and we can still be best friends. So the first reason I think of fourths as being a minor interval is probably the loosest reason, so we'll get this one out of the way first and foremost. If we take our cycle of fifths and we go through it the correct way in fifths, then of course we are getting brighter. If we move in the opposite direction, moving through the cycle of fourths, we are getting darker, and we can think of brighter as majoring and darker as minoring. So if we start in our center point of C major, and let's take the C major scale for example. Now, if I take that C major scale and I move one step through the cycle of fourths, I'm now in the key of F major. Now, keeping that constant root of C, that gives me now the note B flat. So the scales become slightly flatter, slightly darker. It's got a minor seventh in it, so maybe slightly more minor. And we've only moved 1/4. Now, again, keeping a fixed root, if I go once through the cycle of fourths again, I now have a B flat and an E flat. So that original C major scale is now sounding very minor with a minor seventh and a minor third. So that was the C Dorian scale or C Dorian mode. If I go once more through, I'm now introducing an A flat. So that would sound like this. And that is the C natural or the C pure minor. So simply taking that starting major scale and moving through the cycle of fourths, 3 steps, 3 positions, we're now on that same root in its natural minor position or its Aeolian position. So simply thinking 3/4 away takes us to a completely minor sound world. Now, the second reason I think of fourths as being minor is if instead of thinking of the cycle of fourths and the scales, let's build chords using fourths. Now, usually in jazz or any style of music, we build chords using thirds. What happens if we build chords using fourths instead, specifically perfect fourths? Well, let's start on C again. So a fourth higher would be F. So you could say that's like a C sus4 or C sus, whatever you want. Fourth higher than F, B flat. It's got like a C11. Fourth higher than B flat is E flat. We now have a tonality. We've now got a minor third. So this is a C minor 11. If I go again, E flat to A flat. So that's got the flat 13 on the top now. And if I change position and go to the 8th fret instead of down on the 3rd fret there, and I can carry on once more and add a D flat on the top. And that's a Phrygian chord there with a flat 2nd on the top. So by stacking fourths, we are moving through the modes of the major scale, and it's getting darker and darker and darker. So this gives us that Wayne Shorter to Herbie Hancock world, especially this one where we stack 3/4 on top of the root. C, F, B flat and E flat in this instance. And we can slide that around the guitar. It's worth knowing your rotations of those as well. So using a perfect fourth as the building block of harmony creates minor chords. And the third and final reason I think of the perfect fourth as being a minor interval is because of the scale that is built when we stack a few fourths together. Let's work out what that scale is. So let's carry on in this position down here. We'll just stack these fourths again, and then we're going to put them into a prime order. So if I start on C again, F, B flat, E flat, and A flat. So that gives me 5 notes, which is a good start. So that chord there, which we've already looked at, has the notes C, F, B flat, E flat, and A flat. Now I'm going to put those in a prime order, and I end up with this. C, E flat, F, A flat, B flat. That's playing them as a scale. Now if I extend that across the whole guitar, I want to work out what that scale is. Well, it's the F minor pentatonic. So by stacking fourths, we're creating the pentatonic scale. Now, of course, the pentatonic scale can be considered major and it can be considered minor. We've got the major pentatonic and the minor pentatonic. But I think combined with the harmony that the fourths create, it kind of fits better in the minor pentatonic sound world. And of course, as guitarists, we love the minor pentatonic anyway. Now, because the guitar is tuned in fourths, it lends itself really well to using this interval to create lines. So I thought in today's video, rather than giving you a sick lick as I usually do, I'll show you the framework around which you can build your own lines. Now, because I've got the 7th string, which is a low B here, it's going to give me a bit of context to demonstrate this. So I'm going to do this in B minor pentatonic. So that'll be here on the 7th fret. Now I think it's particularly effective to build this fourths pattern actually starting on the 2nd degree of the scale. So in B that would be C sharp. So the fourth interval is this stretch here, taking us from fret 9 all the way up to fret 14. So that's adding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frets. And we then move up that same pattern up to the next string. To the point where we're at the B string, we have to go down a string and up a fret. So if I play that visualization pattern there over the low B string, so what notes am I playing there? Well, we're starting here on the C sharp, so that's the 2nd. We've got the 2nd up to the 5th, the 5th up to the root, and then from the root we're going up to the 4th or the 11th, then up to the minor 7th, then the minor 3rd. Then at the top here, we can add the, depending on the tonality that you're trying to convey, we can add one more and that'll give us the flat 13, which is like the Aeolian sound world. And then I'm just resolving down to an F sharp and that B minor triad at the top. So experiment with using perfect fourths as a minor interval. Just to reiterate what I said at the beginning of the video, perfect fourths are not a minor interval. If you're sitting a theory paper or you're having a conversation with a musician, don't go on about perfect fourths being a minor interval because you saw some guy with a weird guitar on the internet talking about it. It's not a minor interval, but it can function very, very well in a minor sound world. So try that out for yourself, and I'd love to see some of your own licks built in fourths. Please do tag me. You can now do that on YouTube. You can @ Charles Harrison Music Tuition, I'd love to see you guys playing. If you play my own licks or build your own, I'd really like to see that. Let me know down below in the comments what else you'd like to see me talk about on this channel. And please do give this video a like, subscribe, ding that notification bell, and share with any of your friends who would find this useful to bring their playing into a slightly more modern era. And as always, I hope you're all doing very well, getting plenty of practice in, and I very much look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers!
Roll up, let me embed a story you'll never forget. A drip, drip, but drowning in debt now. You can't buy your way out, and I heard you find it difficult to cope. Well, here